Hello everyone, this is JPL back for another nostalgic reaction, the series to where I watch things that I'm nostalgic for. This time around we'll be taking a look back at the world of My Little Portal. My Little Portal is of course a series of YouTube videos created by the creator Christian Cerda. And the point of this series was to kind of like have a crossover look at what Valve's Portal would look like if it was done with My Little Pony characters. This was a popular series back in the early fandom. This, I think, was one of the earliest like fully animated fan works. This came around the period of like 2012, 2011, very early on before this type of work was normal. I believe there's currently 10 to 11 episodes, and as of this point, it's currently still unfinished, and it's possible they'll probably never be finished. But we'll see in the future if it ever does get finished. I know that I enjoyed this series. I reacted to the later episodes. The one critique that you could say about this is that we get so the creator kind of gets lost in the lore of what they're trying to do versus this story that they're trying to present. Because there's many episodes where we just have many flashbacks out of timeline order to explain the lore, the world, instead of like going through the main story that we had presented. And like, it's still interesting to watch, but you get to a point after many years where it takes a long time for each episode to come out that you're kind of tired of the lore and you just want to see the story continue. But anyway, they're still good. They're still fun to watch. But yeah, we're gonna be watching the first few episodes, the ones that establish basic things. Let's get into it. It's a fun idea to combine the world of Portal and My Little Pony. It's also just very cool just how close these were together. Like, we're in 2025. Portal came out in 2011. So, man, this would have been like more of the time period when it came out, but still cool to see the crossover. This was actually my first introduction to the world of Portal, or even like the Half-Life universe, because before then I wasn't really familiar. But this series, got me into it, so that all the small references when I finally watched the stuff was pretty cool. Even the music itself is cool. It's from the game itself, so it was cool to see. So Discord is like the GLaDOS, or was it Celestia who ended up being the GLaDOS? I don't recall specific details.
But Cranky says we need it running as soon as possible. Besides, what could go wrong?
Stuff could go wrong.
All right, boys, start it up.
Power surge? Should that have happened?
It never happened with the other AI systems.
It's because this one is Discord. It's gonna cause chaos
I have a bad feeling.
and violence. And I think that brown pony is actually a changeling, if my memory serves me correctly. But this whole episode serves as like a foundational backstory, kind of what the main plot for the rest of the series is supposed to be. Yeah. When life gives you lemons, burn your house down.
Shut it off!
Yeah. I think this is the only episodes where Doctor Who's gets to like do cool stuff, because later on, he's not really part of the rest of the series. But here's our Gordon Freeman hazmat suit. It just looks really cool in pony form.
Hey, metal dude!
Oh, there's Rainbow
Name is Hooves, for your information.
before
Who are you?
things get pretty messed up with her.
My name's Rainbow Dash. I was in the test chamber when the power just went out. I found a way out behind one of the panels. What's going on up there? You guys based an AI system off of Discord?
The series is dialogue heavy because we only have one person working on the animation. Animation takes time, so
Designed to test the outcomes of negative interaction between our testing
you're not going to get the most
But since the program
complex
was off and now he's targeting everybody.
movements, but
We should
it
split up.
serves the task
I'll go get
of
the science
getting the
system.
story across
You
and
can go
getting
activate
whatever
those
we
old
need
AI robots.
done.
Is any pony here?
Well, there's blood, so not anymore. AI and AI battle. We don't really get to see that in Portal. Not like this. Portal music just goes well with a lot of things. It's really cool.
The incident at Equestria Laboratories was caused by your direct negligence.
Okay.
Your actions
So,
deemed you worthy of
this
the
is in the
highest
past.
form of punishment. You will be allowed to continue your scientific research, but in a more secluded environment.
The moon.
A very secluded environment.
Okay. So, here we've established that the AIs of Celestia and Luna existed while those two characters were still alive. Discord has set something up in motion for the future, which should happen in the next couple episodes. Interesting to start your series, your Portal crossover with like lore backstory, but I guess it kind of helps. I don't think you necessarily needed the lore backstory at first, but it is interesting to see how things set up. I think it probably takes away from part of the mystery of like the Portal, because when we start with the next view from Twilight's perspective in the future, and because we knew stuff happened in the past, we're kind of, there's still a mystery, but we know the answers to some things. It's interesting to explore, but you know, part of the reason why Portal as a franchise works, the games are just so interesting that we keep coming back to, is because the lore isn't explained. It's like background elements that happen. You come across little hints and stuff, but nothing's ever fully explained. It's like something that you kind of have to figure out for yourself. But that's not a criticism for the series. It's just an observation of how things could have been different. But yeah, no, cool first episode. I think it confuses a lot of people who might not know what's happening. But I think once you get to the second episode, we finally get more into like the actual Portal, using portal guns and figuring stuff out. Anyway, on to the next one. I guess people were complaining that My Little Pony was doing stuff here, so had to have a disclaimer for them. Yeah, and here's poor Rainbow Dash. Man, Rainbow Dash is the saddest character
She looks worse
in
than
this
today when we
series.
brought her in here.
She goes through so much. Pretty dark.
Is she conscious?
Yes,
So she can feel what's happening to her?
that would be correct. This operation is very complicated. Even the most advanced anesthetics couldn't stop her from feeling most of the pain. I'm surprised she's lasted as long as she has.
This is horrible.
That may be true, but it's necessary.
We'll make her into a robot, a cyborg. 10 years later. Is this only 10 years later? Huh. Because the normal Portal, that's like hundreds of years. Interesting. Pinky.
Uh-oh.
here's where like the mystery starts getting in, because we've established that the My Little Pony world exists, and we have to question, how do these AI characters come into existence? Because we know that Rainbow Dash is a cyborg of herself, or a copy of herself, because, you know, she injured. Yeah, we actually are not going to see Applejack at all in this series for like a really long time. I don't think she was ever introduced in these initial episodes, but she was also replaced somehow.
When was the last time we spoke to each other? Oh, that's right. That one time right before you murdered me. Well, I've been really busy being dead.
Okay.
But now I
So
think it's
Discord
time
is
to take
definitely
this
GLaDOS,
back.
because that's
Now, if you'll
her
excuse me, I've got some
lines
chaos to
straight out of the second film. Okay. Game. Film. There's Twilight. After her very traumatic experience where she's lost all of her memories, yeah. And I believe Twilight here, just like in Double Rainbow, was voiced by Kira Buckland.
Discord has been awakened, and I need
Ooh.
you to find the elements of harmony to
Prolific voice actress.
I've downloaded all of the information about the elements into this personality core. She will help you on your mission. Good luck to both of you.
So our mission here is to gather the elements of harmony. So the main 6 for something. The costume designs,
Won't let you down.
the ponyfied costume designs were pretty cool.
Good luck, Twilight.
How about you send your little test subject down, and I show her the way instead? Only if you think she's capable of doing it, of course. The first rule of testing is no teleporting with magic. If you do that, then I'll just make the test chambers harder.
Okay. We finally get our portal gun. Now we're thinking with portals. Of course, everyone has to do this at some point.
I think I've gotten the hang of this thing.
Epic music time.
When we get out of here, we should totally have a party.
Yes.
Sure, whatever. Really?
Pinky, yes. So we've reverted Twilight back to her, like, early season 1 form.
Congratulations.
She doesn't
That was just
remember
the first test.
friendship.
Go ahead and continue on.
And there's that. So that's the second episode. Yeah. I'm realizing that this isn't the most reactive series out there, because it is dialogue heavy, because the dialogue is very important to the plot and the lore. You kind of have to like listen and pay attention, because there's not a lot to really react to. This one requires a lot of focus. So if you think any of this reaction is boring, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to listen and focus on what's going on here. But yeah, interesting stuff here. We're finally starting the story with Twilight in the future. Doesn't remember anything. A mystery that we're gonna uncover actually pretty soon. Only a few more episodes, and then the big flashback episode where dark secrets are revealed. It is interesting. It is interesting, like, thinking about how the logistics of having My Little Pony going into the world of Portal. It is an interesting idea to explore, and I'm glad we did explore this. Even if like it takes a long time for each new episode to come out, but no, this is still a fun thing to do. Yeah, on to the next one. We're getting more into Rainbow Dash's traumatic backstory. When she turns into a robot. Yeah. She has one real eye, one fake eye. Yeah. And then they delete her memory, which is messed up. Episode 3, The Ark. Have we been given episode titles before?
At the end of this chamber is one of the elements you're looking for. Let's see how far you can make it this time.
Is this
Twilight, let's do this.
where we get Fluttershy? The Flutter Cube? What's the test on this one? Show us what the test is. What are we looking at? There's the door. I don't think this test required physics, because the other platform is portable. Fun gag, though.
There she is! Rarity, the Generosity Core. Oh, darling, what are you wearing? You mean this test gear?
I think
This is all there is to wear around
they've
here.
confused
Oh, no, you
the
simply
direction
can't
of the
stop
audio.
out here looking like that.
Because Rarity
Come on, we don't have time for this.
is in my
We
right
have to
ear,
stop
but she's on the
Discord.
left side of the screen. Pinky's in my left ear,
Good ones were done.
but she's on the right side of the
That
screen.
suit of yours.
Twilight is going back and forth in some cases. Interesting. Something got messed up there.
What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Continue testing.
I don't know what happened here.
Can't remember
The
anything.
audio is like weirdly
Now that I think about it, no. I don't remember how I got into that bed in the first place or anything before that.
in the wrong.
That's funny.
This I wouldn't consider this good audio mixing. Here's our direction cubes. Oh yeah, here's where we're gonna get our Fluttershy. Here's where we get our secret walls.
Behind this panel?
Oh, there's the Fluttershy cutie mark on the wall. And the big question is, how does Fluttershy become a cube? Interesting. References in those jars. Oh, there's a little derpy. This is,
Hello?
I think, a Metal Gear reference. Yeah.
Hey, that's Fluttershy, the kindness cube. Oh, you surprised me.
It is so weird to see a cube
We gotta stop Discord.
speak, but also move.
No, I don't think that's such a good idea. I mean, what if he hurts us? We won't give you the satisfaction, so you better go find someone else to laugh at.
Someone else? That's a good idea. How about another test subject? As a matter of fact, I'm bringing one down at the moment. You may not remember her, but I know for a fact she remembers you.
And is that gonna be another of the main six? Oh no, it's Trixie.
We meet again.
Yes, Trixie. Back when they were still rivals. Yeah, this episode had a lot of audio issues where the mixing. This was definitely edited in stereo, but the audio channels are just not synced up properly because they're on lefts or rights, sometimes in the middle. It's very inconsistent, very jarring, doesn't sound good too. I think there is actually a fixed audio version, if my memory serves me correctly, so I must have watched the wrong version. But anyway, yeah, here we are introduced to more of the cubes. So here we have like Trixie, she's come in here. Other characters like Fluttershy and Rarity, we're getting our cast together. Yeah, it does look like that there was a fixed audio version. So, oh well. But yeah, just more fun times in the Portal world, fun atmosphere and such. Don't know what else to say. So yeah, on to the next one. Last one we're going to be doing for today. I haven't said this, but I do enjoy that we get warning. We get warnings to like stuff, but normally people don't give warnings for younger audiences, but this is glad that they're thinking of it. Okay, more Rainbow Dash background.
As you can see, the new Infiltrator model is the ultimate fighting machine.
This one is a full-on
It
robot.
surpasses every other robotic sentry in the field.
I think the story of My Little Portal, especially in the beginning, was leading up to like the 5th episode, because that's where the direction seems to like go through. Because the background is all about Rainbow Dash, and then once we get to the 5th episode, where it's like the big flashback episode, after this point, it just kind of struggles to figure out what to do.
I won't make the same mistakes Cranky did. That's why we're basing our sentries on the elements of harmony.
Yes, because the elements of harmony need ammunition and violence. Sentry turrets. Interesting that Rainbow Dash is the sentry turret.
If I tell you something,
Are you still there?
you know that Rainbow Dash will be fine, right?
I don't think she will be. She won't even remember who she is.
Yeah.
It was the best we could do.
Wasn't enough.
Malicious intent. Ooh. Wonder what that could mean.
Twilight Sparkle. We meet again.
Oh, right. Trixie. Yes, that's what.
Who are you?
How dare you forget the great and powerful Trixie?
Still not ringing any bells.
It was
Yes, this is before Trixie was reformed. I think at this point we only had season 1 Trixie to work with, so cool that she's featured prominently in this series.
Pretty technical.
Somewhat, yeah.
I know what you're going to do, Twilight Sparkle. You're going to get me in that thing and then shoot me across so I get crushed.
I mean,
What? Why would I do that? We're all in this together.
Oh, no. I knew that as soon as you saw me, you were going to try to find some way to get rid of me. Well, I'm not going to let that happen. Ah!
yeah. Yeah, the CMC are also turrets. I think there is a whole episode in the future where they talk about the morality of like having children
Go in there.
be turrets.
Hearing things. Look, girls, a pony. Whoa! What if we get a turret, cutie mark? Yeah. I say we follow her.
Yes. And then it takes several years before we get to that episode. And yeah, I think it's better to watch this all once all the episodes are completed. That way your memory's more intact when you get to those episodes finally. Yeah.
Is that what Celestia told you? You don't honestly believe that she woke you up to stop Discord because he's evil. She just wants him out of the way so she can take back control of this facility.
That's not true.
Of course,
Think
I don't
about
know.
it, Twilight Sparkle. There's no one else around. We're the only 2 ponies we've seen in this facility. Everyone else is
It's
a robot.
10 years in the future
Obviously, something must have happened to all the scientists here.
and other stuff.
You know what, Trixie? You're probably right about something bad having happened, but I doubt it was Celestia's fault.
Then this is where we part ways.
Yes. And again, we don't see Trixie for a long time too.
Guys,
Oh, Spike!
Robot dragon! He's so cute! Let's wake him up! Are you sure that's a good idea? I don't see any harm in it.
Man, this is such a sad continuity. I mean,
What's your name?
obviously,
Hi!
Fallout Equestria
Spike?
is sadder
That name
because
sounds really familiar.
their friendship broke apart at the end, but
I doubt it. My particular model was a special order for some rich pony.
And that's Rarity.
Yes, I see nothing changes, even in robot form.
Anyway, Equestria Laboratories? This is Celestia Laboratories.
What?
Ah,
No, it can't be. We're
in just
still in
10
the
years, we had a name change.
Do you have any information on this place's history? Of course, but only up until the fall of Canterlot. Did you just say the fall of Canterlot? Yes. According to my data, the fall of Canterlot was about 10 years ago. Is something wrong, Twilight?
And then that starts the flashback. Although, the next episode, she drinks the memory drink. That's interesting. Yeah. Well, that's episode 4. That's all we're gonna have for this time around. Here we just establish motivations. Again, Twilight's gonna continue after the Discord. Trixie, she's gonna go after Celestia. Plus the CMC are on their trail, which is something that we're not going to see at all until years down in the future once we finally get to those episodes. Which, when you were watching this in real time, waiting for each episode, it was pretty frustrating to do. But now that they're all out, you don't have to do that. It must have been difficult to work on too, because you had to constantly have casting calls to replace your voice actors. Because pretty much after this and episode 5, everybody had to be recast because people moved on, and it took so long for each new episode. But yeah, I think I always felt like it was weird that episode 5, the next one, is where they have the big flashback episode. It felt weird narratively because we didn't really do a whole lot in these first few episodes. Just a little bit of meeting characters, a little bit of testing, and then now we have to get the memory. And you don't really get a sense of what your character's motivations are. They're just going with the flow. But it's still interesting to see the backstories and such. It's interesting to see, again, what the Portal version of these characters looks like. But yeah, no. Well, that's all we're gonna have for this time around. Fun stuff, interesting concepts. Not the most reactive thing out there because you're focused on seeing what they're doing, but there is some cool and interesting ideas being presented here. I think Rainbow Dash is the most compelling element because it's a tragic story. And of course, things become even more tragic once we get to the next episode, which is going to be a different video. But yeah, in that case, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.